welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my live stream. I just want to make sure that this is working right. This is Jacob Cast 2024. We're going to do my Monday Night Raw July 14, 2025 review. This is the Fallout show of WWE Evolution and the Fallout the Segment event. Well, actually, wait, I probably should change that. This is also the Fallout to, I will talk about the review of AEW All In. I will make the video like an hour and 10 minutes. Make sure you guys hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comment section below if y'all want to see more. Enjoy this video, enjoy this live stream. We're going to talk about Monday Night Raw. We'll talk about AEW All In review. My video has been sponsored by PlayStation. It's been sponsored by my favorite podcasters. My favorite podcasters like Fight for Pro Wrestling, Solomon the Sound Off, JD from New York. We got Denise Salcedo, Good Might Work Commentary, Just Alex Post Wrestling, and other podcasters that I know of. Now, Monday Night Raw is still on right now, so as you guys know, Monday Night Raw is still on right now. Alright, hold on. I actually want to show you guys, hope y'all can still hear it. Hold on, I gotta go back to it first. Hold on, let me see if y'all can still hear it. Let me know in the comment section. You guys can hear the main event with CM Punk and Braun Breaker. Who's gonna win the gauntlet match? Who will face Gunther for the World Heavyweight title? Let's see. I think we're close to it being over.
WWE, but his first in 14 years.
Can y'all hear the main event? Can you hear this match? CM Punk and Braun Breaker. Monday Night Raw with 2.5 hours. It was alright. I think there were like a couple of matches. They did announce 7 matches for SummerSlam. SummerSlam has a 3-week build. 3 weeks of SummerSlam with only 2 nights. They already announced 7 matches, by the way, that we will get into. We know that Cody Rhodes and John Cena will be on SmackDown this Friday. Finally, John Cena is going to show up. Him and Cody will be under one roof, under the same roof on SmackDown this Friday. Can't wait for that. Alright. Now, there's no Seth Rollins, but we got Paul Heyman and Bronson Reed out there. Uh-oh. Damn. I wonder what's gonna happen. Who's gonna come out? Alright, so Jey Uso comes out. Is someone else gonna come out or what? Who's gonna win?
this weekend at SummerSlam. A few weeks ago, it was CM Punk who told Gunther, stay out of my way. Well, these two gentlemen are on a collision course at MetLife Stadium for the biggest party of the summer with the World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Punk had one goal, Corey, since his return to WWE, and that is to win a world title. He has another chance at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. 2 weeks from this coming weekend against that man, Gunther, for the World Championship. Oh, bonus!
Bronson Reed attacking CM Punk. Who can come out? There's Jay.
Jey Uso trying to come to his aid. Punk earned the championship opportunity, but Bronson Reed and company looking for the last laugh. Jey Uso coming to the aid of CM Punk. Breaker with a spear. Braun Breaker somehow had enough left in him there to spear. And now
Someone had to come out to help him.
double teaming Punk. And a spear now to Punk. Decimating Punk and Uso. And Heyman looks on as his charges continue to destroy everything that moves. No, if it continues to go this
No way.
CM Punk isn't going to make it to SummerSlam. Neither is Jey Uso. This is going to be a massacre. Stacking Uso and Punk up for what would be a double.
Someone gotta come out.
330-pounder.
Someone had to come out. Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is out. Yes, he's back. Fame for Channel OCC. Can y'all hear it? Can you hear that?
The OTC is back. Superman punch. And now Reigns beating the hell out of Braun Breaker. Look at the power. Thanks for coming.
Damn.
Superman punch. This place is coming unglued.
Damn. Roman Reigns is finally back after all these months. Just in time for SummerSlam.
Roman Reigns just the night after WrestleMania when Braun Breaker speared him and aligned himself with Rollins and Heyman. Helping his cousin Jey.
What would end this year? You looking at Punk? You hear that?
The sins of Paul Heyman are about to haunt him. Roman Reigns has never forgotten. The original tribal chief is back.
Alright, think that's it. It's over. And Monday Night Raw had just come to an end. Roman Reigns finally returned since the War after Mania after all these months. It is about damn time that he showed up. And they need him because Seth Rollins is hurt. He wasn't on the show tonight. He still had the briefcase, but he's gonna be out for a very long time. And you need a top star to be on TV and hype up your damn show. That was crazy. Let me know if you guys heard that. Let me know in the comments section what you guys think about that. Let me know if you guys heard the big reaction. Roman Reigns finally returns. Finally back on TV. Now he had to be on SummerSlam, but who's he gonna face? Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed? We could be looking at a tag team match, because what did Jay do at SummerSlam? Remember, Jay Uso wasn't on SummerSlam last year, so we could look at Jay Uso and Roman Reigns against Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed in a tag team match. We could look at that. Now we don't see him gonna face Gunther. So there's that. Alright. Now this is what we got on wait, hold on. Now as for what happened on Monday Night Raw, the show opened up with the show opened up with Naomi. She spoke. She addressed that she captain and made history last night. In a fantastic ending, a shocking ending. Io Sky came out, really came out, and then Adam Pearce made it official. SummerSlam, we're looking at a triple threat match with Naomi defending her new women's championship, her new women's world championship against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky in a triple threat match at SummerSlam. That will be on Monday night. We did get Judgment Day. Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez, they retained their tag team titles against the Kabuki Warriors with the help of Dominic. So they're still telling that storyline. Dominic had to help Roxanne because Liv Morgan's not there. She's out with injury. We had a very good match with Lyra versus Bayley. Lyra beat Bayley. She'll get her rematch with Becky at SummerSlam. Maybe Lyra might win the belt back. We got a nice vignette with Karrion Kross and Scarlett. That was pretty good. We got Nikki Bella. Yes, Nikki Bella wrestled for the first time on Raw in who knows how long. She wrestled against Chelsea Green in a quick match. But she actually won with the help of Stephanie Valkyrie, who came out and helped her. I don't know why. Why? Because he won the Battle Royal or something? I guess you respect Nikki Bella. Stephanie Valkyrie clearly a babyface. And then we got the gauntlet match. Braun Breaker with Mega Dominant. He beat Penta. He beat LA Knight. He beat Jey Uso. Then he came down to CM Punk. Obviously wasn't going to win because CM Punk had to be on SummerSlam and in the big match. He's going after Gunther. They teased it last week. Braun Breaker going to be in a bigger match and feud with Roman Reigns. And I'm looking forward to that. Now we did get a teaser earlier with Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman. They taunt Gunther, potential WrestleMania tease. I am looking forward to that. I can't wait for that. Now, let's see what Denise has to say about this.
How can I be like that person? How can I be as talkative as this person or as comfortable as this person? But you'd be...
Anthony, wait, hold on a second. Obviously, with Karen Watson, they retain Lyra. She beat Bayley. Now Penta's not on the game. I didn't have time to put the other ones on, so I'm gonna skip ahead. Yeah, so Braun obviously won that. And then CM Punk, he won that.
Surprise. I think a lot of people also experience, shyness and stuff like that. So you're not the only one. I've experienced it. I've still experienced it, believe it or not. No one ever believes me when I say that, but I still experience it too. And so, yeah, it's just something you've gotta, the more time you practice being with people and socializing or being on camera, whatever type of shy you're trying to overcome, eventually it just goes away. But Brendan, thank you so much for the...
We got Fight for Pro Wrestling with Sean Wassab. One Night War was alright. Wasn't that good? The only thing that mattered was the opener and the main event.
I'll provide what I can. There are some details on this I can't provide for the sake of privacy, but Seth Rollins had his match in early on Saturday night's main event against LA Knight. The way that it was explained to me is that he has an injury, it's not good. The injury is very real and it's not good. Now, that was immediately. So he was treated backstage as if it was real and as if it happened in the moment. There were people who were not prepared for this. There were some people who were shocked and concerned that you would assume would be in the know, and by assume you would almost guarantee were in the know, of whom I will say I did follow up with today and haven't heard back from them. Seth Rollins was backstage at WWE Evolution on crutches. So what I should make clear is everybody that is reported on this situation is in pretty well agreement that Seth Rollins did sustain an injury. However, there have been some reports of which I want to make clear. I cannot confirm these. I am absolutely not denying them, but I can't confirm them because I haven't heard this outside of their reporting. But I believe John Pollock, who is an incredible journalist, one of the best on the planet, forget wrestling, and Dave.
I'm still waiting for Santi to get in here, so we're still going to give him a few more minutes. And then once he gets in here, we'll actually start the post show. In the meantime, just send in some thoughts. I'm going to pull out some comments here.
Seth Rollins had already sustained an injury, and this was used to cover that up. Now, what myself and Mike Johnson had heard was that Seth Rollins was slated to win that match, and it ended up changing as a result. That's the latest that I had heard. Now, I haven't heard too much besides that. It was I don't want to say a fortunate situation, but Birmingham is where a lot of these wrestlers go to get checked out for things like that. And they just happened to be in Birmingham, but he wasn't on Raw in any capacity. And I hate that man. He's had a plethora of knee injuries. So it's just one of those things that we're going to have to monitor. I'm obviously going to follow up on it, and we're gonna monitor all this. Sir Brendo says, just want to show some love for Fightful this week. Well, I appreciate that. I want to know what you guys thought about this show. I want to know what you thought about All In, Evolution, Great American Bash, all that stuff. What does it say that Kenny Omega and Okada,
especially on this watch along? Thank you, Dave. Glad you enjoyed the watch along. We got Louis here, who says, "Hey Denise, what's your favorite match of the weekend?" Mine's with Maki Ito versus Raku. My favorite match of the weekend for AEW was Hangman and Moxley because I did like that main event. And then my favorite match on the W.
She said that she outgrew Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. They just wanted her as an ally. She said she is the one that ended up making history, and she told the Raw roster to proceed with caution. Rhea Ripley came out there. She said she's not cautious. She's reckless. She's pissed, and she had 2 goals at Evolution.
And then I will be flying back to Los Angeles to do the watch-alongs from here. So I won't be staying in New York too long. And the reason for that is, one, I do prefer to do my watch-alongs here and be hanging out with everybody. And then 2, I don't want to have to deal with the traffic at MetLife after the show. If you've never been to MetLife and you're trying to get out of MetLife, especially
I'm on my Lex Luthor hater vibes for Braun.
We got Shanti Zap.
All right, I'm gonna get ready here to do the post show.
Alright, we got the other podcasters here.
Appreciate that.
Roman is back. Thank you, Jody.
Yes, Roman versus Braun.
Being here and for hanging out. I know I started off the stream extremely tired, but
in classic con man community fashion, you guys woke me the F up by just chatting along and making me do a lucha dance and all that stuff. So I
Here's Joe Conan.
We've been traveling together for 10 years now.
So when we land in a new place, the last thing we want is to waste precious time troubleshooting.
Hold on.
With Olafly, we're online in seconds.
Just showing you guys all your podcasters here.
all over the place. Really loved her. And it's wild to even think now that she was gone.
Levels of excitement for SummerSlam, because I don't feel like SummerSlam has a whole lot of buzz. I think that so far the matches I'm most interested in are Gunther and Punk, as well as the triple threat that was announced with Naomi, Rhea, and Io. Those are like the top two matches that I'm most excited for. But even then, like a lot of it has happened really last minute. Holy shit! Hold on, guys. Wait. Does anybody know how to? Wait, hold on. Does anybody know how to get back their screen when they lose it on iMac? Wait, I can't get my screen back. Hold on. I can't even see what you guys are saying.
She is like an evil princess, evil queen from a Disney movie type of caricature. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way she's playing that up. It's almost like a cartoon character villain. And it's incredible. It's one of those things where it's so it's so obnoxious that it's entertaining. And you want to hear and see what she's going to do next. Like, the crowd's chanting for her. She's like, no. Let's not do that. You don't get to do that. I thought that she was phenomenal. And also, what a pop Adam.
Ah, crap. Hold on. Wait. You think I'd know how to do this by now?
He said that she deserved it, and she did. And she acknowledged that he acknowledged that, which I think is good, because, I mean, it's not scummy to do that, it's just within the rules of Money in the Bank, right? Like, Naomi came in, and for a while, it's like, damn, what's this push gonna be? Like, what's this run gonna be? You know what I mean? And to be fair, and I do want to say, to be fair, WWE wanted Naomi back much before she ever came back. But Vince bull rushing his way back into the company sort of
Was a mini crash out there, because I severely panicked. I thought, Ron, coming at SummerSlam. Freaking Gunther. Thank you so much for the love. You're definitely doing just. Jesus, everyone's so happy Roman's there. Don't blame them.
Hey, what the hell?
I would have never found a solution to my problem. Thanks, Denise and Blue Chew. Hey, please do. That's a good script right there.
Alright. Well, I'm waiting for the other podcaster to show up here. Hold on. Something wrong with my damn connection. It's so goddamn slow. Trying to say reacting to all your other podcasters who reacting to Woman Reigns coming back. Someone said it's only 3 weeks, so he has to be on TV. He clearly couldn't be on Raw. He's not going to be on SmackDown. Alright. Now, last night we already talked about Evolution. Alright. I actually want to talk about AEW, but Seth Rollins is injured. Adam Cole, he's also injured. That's two sad injuries for both companies. Alright. AEW All In Texas 2025. The Aftermath. Now that's what we saw on All In. That was on 0 hours. Must have been on the pre-show. Big Boom and AJ and Razor and Big Joe. They take out their opponent. Alright, it's been like 25 minutes. I'm very sorry taking so long to wait for my other podcast friend until I hurry this up. It's being up here.
Do you know how to play GTA 5 on your
Hopefully we get Mr. Santi Shaft and Denise talking.
You can do this. Click the button below.
Next time that happens to me, I'm gonna do that. Wow. All right. So we got Infamous Raider Loco here who says, no lie, YouTube chat did it to me a few times. Had to log out, then back in, shaking my head. I couldn't see no messages. Oh no. All right. No, mine was different. Mine was just my MacBook.
Alright, come on now. Come on.
Not my MacBook. My MacBook Pro. It just went capiche. Everything disappeared, and I couldn't see anything. Thank you, Infamous Raider Loco. All right, let me go back through some comments here. We got Terrence Matthews here who says, are we heading for a Stephanie and Nikki team up at SummerSlam?
A realistic possibility. Now, it is also reasonable for her to be upset by it, but that is something that I've noticed. But why would Adam Pearce not do what he did, right? It makes a lot of sense from a kayfabe perspective, from a general manager perspective. Okay, well, Naomi did win the title that way, and sure, you could speculate whether or not it's scummy, but they'll just run it back in an official triple threat, which I think makes a ton of sense. And now we've got the card coming together, which, they got to bring together a lot more of that pretty quickly because it's 2-9.
2, 1. What is up, everybody? Happy Monday. Welcome to Instinct Culture here with Denise Salcedo and Santi Zach. We are talking Monday Night Raw, July 14th, the fallout of Evolution, and a damn good episode of Raw. Before we break it all down, Santi, how are you?
I am a disheveled version of myself. I have watched, no joke, I think 17 hours of professional wrestling. Actually, 20 if you include Friday Night SmackDown in the past 4 days straight. I think I have more white in my beard than I've ever had in just these 4 days. I think I've aged 50 extra years. I'm tired. I'm cranky. But this Raw got me in a good mood.
I thought you were going to say, I'm tired, I'm old, I'm tired, and I work with fucking children.
How far off here?
Santi's so tired, he wouldn't even be able to manage a Target right now.
I wish I brought donuts. I wish I brought donuts to this show.
Anyway, so we got a fun episode of Raw to get into. Santi, I want to start right then and there. Coming off of Evolution, which was just I saw your thoughts on what you had to say about the show and how you felt about Rhea and Io, who just absolutely blew it out of the park. Naomi cashing in. Coming off of such a feel-good show like that and going into Raw, how did you feel overall about today's Monday Night Raw?
I mean, it's a fantastic follow-up, considering they also had a wonderful women's match on this show as well with Lyra and Bayley. We had the big announcement there of the women's triple threat that I sincerely hope is at the very least in consideration for closing night 1 of SummerSlam, especially after how good Io and Rhea Ripley was. I think this was a really, really great follow-up. But more than anything, this was a necessary big episode of Monday Night Raw because we're literally only 3 weeks away from SummerSlam. They needed to really push the pedal to the motherfucking metal in this episode, and I do think that they did. I think that they did the appropriate steps to get me excited for SummerSlam because I spent all weekend bummed about SummerSlam knowing it's going to be fucking Jelly Roll taking up the spot of Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, and Logan Paul.
That's how I felt too. We all know why WWE is doing the Jelly Roll stuff. We get it, publicity, mainstream attention. We get all of that. But when you're taking up matches, SummerSlam matches for guys like Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre and hell, even Logan Paul, you're taking up a lot of really big people. And let's be real, they could have kind of put some other people in this matchup for it to still hit and for them to get that publicity. So the fact that they chose these names, it's wow, okay. And again, not to mention, this isn't any ordinary SummerSlam. It's a 2-night SummerSlam at MetLife Stadium.
Yeah, and I don't mind celebrities being in these shows. I love the Johnny Knoxville stuff. But guess what? He faced a Sami Zayn that was directionless, that was doing nothing at the time. I love the Bad Bunny stuff. His WrestleMania debut, he teamed up with Damian Priest, who was just swimming in the mid card, and The Miz and John Morrison, great mid carders. And then his big match was against a Damian Priest that was also still in the mid card that had yet to elevate himself to the main event. This is crazy. That is way too much star power when you have an injured Seth Rollins to invest in a match with Jelly Roll.
I know, that's so wild. Bro, Jelly Roll there.
If Jelly Roll does a swanton bomb up the top of a Hell in a Cell, then yeah. All right. I'm sorry. I apologize. I did not know your game. If he does a shooting star table through a Slim Jim table, okay. All right.
That's what I was about to say. If we see something that kind of level spectacular, I will shut the F up and I will bow down to Jelly Roll. But until I see that, I'm not going to do anything just yet. How about this, Santi? If Jelly Roll goes out there and does a bomb-ass job, you and I, on the air, have to chow down 6 jelly donuts.
Oh, I'm on a diet.
So am I, but I don't know. I'm just throwing out a shot out there. I'm just trying to get them views, Santi.
We could do like jelly shots, like Jello shots. I guess.
Okay, cool. Yeah, mine will have to be non-alcoholic, but I could shoot up some Jello shots.
We could do some Jello shots.
What the hell?
Damn. All right, here we go. Let's do that. If Jelly Rose has a good match at SummerSlam, Santi and I will each have, what's a good number? 10 Jello shots?
I would die if mine are alcoholic. If mine are alcoholic, I'll fucking die. Easy for you to say. You want me to?
Oh no, we're losing Santi. Santi, I think we lost you, bro.
I'm somewhere here.
Wait, you're back. You're back.
Yeah, we're
On
back.
the bright side, your screen froze up and you had like this really, you were like smiling, like perfect, like you were on a billboard or something.
Yeah, I don't take bad photos.
All right, so 10 is not a good number for Jello shots.
No, I would die, Denise.
Yeah.
I would die.
All right, 6.
That's still a lot. You know
3.
what? Maybe let's go back to the jelly donuts.
You asked the jelly donuts. All right, whatever. 3 Jello shots. That's fair. 3 Jello shots, Santi and I, if Jelly Roll does a good job. But anyways, not only did we get, the part that made Raw good today was that a huge chunk of the show, Santi, like the first hour and a half, was primarily female driven. It was just bang, 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 all the women, then the gauntlet, and then of course the return of Roman Reigns, which, let's be real, they held off until the last and final moment that they possibly could to bring out Roman Reigns. Now, before we break everything down, earlier you had mentioned kind of how you were feeling heading into SummerSlam, and that's one of the things that I was asking people was, what is your excitement level as of right now for SummerSlam on a scale of 1 to 10 based off of what we know so far?
Now, post this episode of Monday Night Raw, I'm like on a solid 7.5. Before it, I think I was at 0, like actually 0. Now that the fog of war is starting to lift, we're starting to see SummerSlam shape out. They did like a little mini recap of the match card that we currently have so far. I'm like, okay, there's some heaters here. I love the idea of now having Punk and Gunther. That gets me really pumped up. Finally, Gunther having one of those Raw main eventers going after the world title, which has been such a big criticism of Gunther's World Championship reigns. And then Roman Reigns being back. I wish it was to have a singles match with Braun Breaker, but I imagine it's going to be a tag match with him and Jay versus BMP Security.
I think so too. Do you think, maybe this may be an obvious question, but do you think the original plan was supposed to be Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins? And also your thoughts on Seth Rollins being injured, because there seems to be conflicting reports as to, is this legitimate, is this not, are you leaning in a certain direction?
I learned the hard way when AJ Styles got injured against Carmelo Hayes, where I'm like, you idiots, this is obviously a work. They wouldn't be giving it this much screen time. They're clearly setting us up. And then he was up for like 7 months. So I learned the hard way.
God damn it. Come on now. Another goddamn commercial.
That's good. All right, that's a good thing. Nice little surprise. So I'm assuming that the Seth Rollins injury is fully real, fully legit. If it's not, good lord, if Punk wins against Gunther and then he gets cashed in on by a Seth Rollins, ooh, come on, that'd be hype. That'd be hype.
That's exactly where it's one of those things where you're going to have to wait and see if this is legitimate or not, because he is such a big part of the show that you don't know. And also, I was thinking the same thing, that okay, if Punk wins the title at SummerSlam and then Seth cashes in, man, that's going to be like the ultimate jerk move for Seth Rollins to do to CM Punk. But after the Hell and Back that they have been to, it would be justified for that to happen. So it would be a crazy moment. Now, if he's legitimately injured, Santi, then all of a sudden this puts in question of, okay, how long will he be out for? Will he even make it on time to return back to cash in that Money in the Bank briefcase? He has until June of next year. That's plenty of time. So we're really kind of stuck in this middle spot right now where we don't know what direction this is going to be. This is either going to turn out to be a really funny story between Seth and Punk, or it's going to turn out to be, something that we're waiting for a long time to see what actually plays out in the end. Because another thing that crossed my mind was, what if we're in a world where Braun Breaker was champion by then? Because I even thought maybe that was a possibility, and Seth would cash in on him. I don't know. What if he gives the Money in the Bank briefcase to Braun Breaker if he's going to be out forever? I don't know. There's all these different scenarios right now that can play out, but until we know whether or not Seth is legitimately injured or not, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, there's so many things up in the air, so many what ifs, right? Ever since that Seth Rollins injury, in my video, I literally laid out like 50 different things that we need to now question, right? Like, what's the path for Gunther? What was the path for CM Punk? Is Roman now going to not return for SummerSlam if the plan was always Seth Rollins? But it looks like WWE is pivoting quickly here. But yeah, the Seth Rollins injury, it's kind of crazy that it was Liv Morgan, somebody that they built so much around, and then not long after Seth Rollins, basically their two biggest anchors that they had on Monday Night Raw went down to significant injuries in a short amount of time between them.
Right. So going into today's show, I was about a 5 in terms of excitement level for SummerSlam. Coming out of today's show, I'm at a solid 7. I agree with that. We got 6 matches that we know of that are happening. John Cena, Cody Rhodes, Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill, Randy Orton, and Jelly Roll versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. Gunther versus CM Punk, Naomi, Rhea, Io, and then Becky Lynch versus Lyra. So before we break all of what went down, we do got a couple of super chats that I want to get into. We got Casey Poole here who says, I was at Evolution and I saw Karrion Kross at Spirit Halloween. He said Santi still isn't allowed on the train or in the Glaze Factory. Bing bong, whatnot.
Yeah, that is a brain-rotted listener of my podcast. That's what that is.
I love that. Casey, thank you so much for the love. We got Vanessa Vasquez who says, do you think Rhea wins at SummerSlam so she walks into Crown Jewel as champ, with it being in her home country and all? See, that's what, okay, so let's talk about this right now. So the opening of the show kicked off with Naomi.
Alright, let's show the other podcasters. We got Good Mind Commentaries. We got JD from New York. Alright, hold on. Now let's go back to Denise and Shanti. Alright. I'm going to show you on my other podcast, friends.
Time. So whoever wins this is going to go on most likely to face Stephanie. So what is the scenario going to look like? Is Naomi going to have a short run? Or will we end up seeing Rhea win here and then go on to face Stephanie and Clash in Paris? Or will it not happen? And will we not see whatever happens until Crown Jewel. I'm thinking she probably wins that Crown Jewel instead of going into it as champion.
Who wins the Crown Jewel?
Rhea. If Rhea gets a title match at Crown Jewel. I know this is so far ahead.
Okay, so you think that how does Rhea get the title going into Crown Jewel? Where?
Yes, that's what I'm wondering.
Where?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking Naomi retains at SummerSlam somehow, faces Stephanie Becker at Clash in Paris. Stephanie wins at Clash in Paris, and then Stephanie somehow faces Rhea at freaking Crown Jewel. Oh my God, that is the best.
You can't.
I don't know how.
How can they face at Crown Jewel? Crown Jewel is champion versus champion.
Oh yeah, they could still have a title match though.
I mean, they did in the last Crown Jewel. Last Crown Jewel, it was a
championship.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, last year. I mean, they could change that, right? It's not in Saudi, because last year they had like the big dumbass looking belt that they paraded around for a while. They might not do that because previous Crown Jewels didn't have this, right? They didn't have the Crown Jewel Championship. The first one was last year, and it was in Saudi, and you know that Saudi loves the big displays of big things that happen in Saudi. Look at this big championship that we got here. With it not being in Saudi, maybe they don't do that.
I honestly forgot about the Crown Jewel Championship. I forgot about the title versus title. So my scenario could still happen, but now I'm thinking it is more likely that Rhea does win at SummerSlam and then goes on to face Stephanie at Clash of Paris. Rhea Ripley versus whoever's the champion of SmackDown.
It's possible, by the way, that they could maybe announce a show for September. September has nothing right now, but I think basically Clash in Paris is basically the September show, with it being like the very last day of August. I think that's basically how
Alright, they're going to Salamanca sound off.
Plus, it's kind of like snowboarding. There's sensors to help you balance.
Beat down after the match is
Yeah.
over. Jey Uso is beaten down. CM Punk is beaten down. They're stacked up like pancakes. We're going to get a double tsunami splash. And then they hit the music, and out comes Roman Reigns. And the place, and we're in Birmingham tonight in Alabama, and the place explodes. And Roman has his latest t-shirt, OTC1. I can't wait. You know, every time he makes a return, they could just add a new number to the end and sell new t-shirts every single time. I mean, at the rate things are going, by next year, they'll be up to OTC3, OTC4. But he came out and everybody lost their minds, and he went after Bronson Reed, he went after Braun Breaker, helped Jey Uso up to his feet, and it was very clear based on the end of the show here that we are going to be getting a tag team match with Roman and his cousin against Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. That is likely going to be the SummerSlam match. We also know now what the Intercontinental Championship match for the women is going to be at SummerSlam, because tonight we had a 2 out of 3 falls match involving Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. Lyra Valkyria is going to get Becky Lynch in the ring one-on-one one more time. And the Women's World Championship will also be decided in a triple threat match, just like it was at WrestleMania this year. They're just swapping out Bianca Belair for Naomi. So all of these key championship matches now, and that tag match I mentioned, which I'm sure will be made official very shortly, are clearly going to be the key matches on the SummerSlam card. Again, we're only 3 weeks away. And so if you look at, and I sketched out what the card looks like already, this is what the SummerSlam card as of tonight looks like. We have 6 matches that are official. So we know that the main event, the Night 2 main event of SummerSlam, is going to be Cody Rhodes challenging John Cena. The King of the Ring challenging John Cena for the WWE Championship. We know now that CM Punk will challenge Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. So those are going to be your 2 big title matches. Roman Reigns is back. Very likely him and Jey Uso against Breaker and Reed. So that would be 3. Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Naomi. That makes 4. Tiffany Stratton is defending her WWE Women's title against Jade Cargill. Becky and Lyra, I mentioned. And oh yeah, by the way, Randy Orton and Jelly Roll will be in a tag team match of their own, taking on Drew McIntyre and
Logan Paul. Apparently, Jelly Roll is guest hosting The Tonight Show. Or is it The Tonight Show or it's Jimmy Fallon? I think it might be Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not Jimmy Fallon. The other one, Jimmy Kimmel. Is it Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel? Which show is he hosting? I think Jelly Roll is guest hosting one of those shows this week, and Randy Orton is going to be his guest. So it looks like they're going to be doing an angle like they did years ago for WCW on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno when they set up that celebrity tag match. They're going to be doing something similar. I'm sure they're going to shoot an angle to promote SummerSlam on the show this week. So when you ask yourself, why are we getting this match? That's why we're getting this match. Because they're going to milk it for all the promotion that they can get out of it. And it's going to be an attraction that they hope will bring eyeballs to the show that ordinarily wouldn't be watching the show. So, yes, Jelly Roll will be in a match at SummerSlam as well. Jimmy Kimmel. Okay, I thought it was Kimmel. Too many Jimmys. Should let little Jimmy do it. So anyway, those are the matches that are official. Then you look at the matches that are not official but are likely. AJ Styles and Dominic Mysterio. Teased very heavily tonight. That will likely be happening on the SummerSlam card for the Intercontinental title. I would imagine we probably end up with a Jacob Fatu Solo Sikoa rematch for the United States Championship, or something involving those, the bloodline, maybe Jimmy and Jacob. There'll be something involving those guys. Women's tag team titles should be defended on that show. I would imagine that's where Charlotte and Alexa end up. Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross is still being teased. It was teased again on the show tonight. So the card, you look at it, and that's a lot of matches. Now, of course, they have 2 nights. So the job is not yet done. And they have a few weeks left to flesh out the rest of the card. But you look at all of the key matches seem to be accounted for. And it's a bummer because I'm almost positive that had he not gotten hurt, Chad Gable would have probably been in a mask versus mask match with Penta at SummerSlam. But Gable will not be on the SummerSlam card this year. Then again, though, there is someone under the mask playing El Grande Americano. So I suppose they could still do that match. I don't know that they're ready to do the big reveal yet. I don't think they want to give us the unmasking yet. At least not until Gable comes back. So we'll talk about Penta and what's been going on with him lately. But obviously the other story is Seth Rollins. And I was waiting to see if there was going to be some kind of an update on Seth Rollins tonight. There was a very brief segment in the back during the show where Paul Heyman was asked for a status update. And he didn't give us anything. And everything they were doing, it was very much in character. He didn't reveal anything. You didn't really learn anything new about Seth's status on the show. I was very intrigued by a report from John Pollock. John Pollock of Post Wrestling did a show, I think it was last night, I believe. And he indicated on the show that he was told by somebody in the know, a source, I presume, with WWE, I believe on Thursday. So this would have been 2 days before Saturday night's main event, to keep an eye out, because they're going to be doing an injury angle with Seth Rollins on Saturday night's main event. Now, John Pollock is not somebody who's going to pull shit out of his ass. So if he says that he spoke to somebody that he trusts, who...
If you live in the state, you can get it.
Alright, now let's go into my other podcast friend. We got Good Mic Work Commentary, Greg Morgan.
You really
Fooled everybody. I have a hard time believing that would be the case. For one thing, this is Seth Rollins, who's already missed substantial time in his career due to knee and back injuries. And I just don't think that's something you would play with. I think if you were going to do an injury angle like that, I feel like you're playing with karma almost. Seth Rollins has already had a history of bad knees and bad backs. He's talked about the pain he wrestles in. Sounds like it's very, very difficult for him to wrestle at the level he is wrestling at due to the shape that his body is in. So to fool everybody and make them think that your body is breaking down on you only to come back and reveal that you were healthy the whole time, I don't know. I think you're asking to fucking tear your ACL in your next match, if you ask me. I just feel like that's just playing with a karma fire there you might not want to play with. And plus the way they did it, to have, the way it was set up in the ring definitely felt legit. Well, the ending part is. And when you hear what the chatter was today about, oh, maybe the injury, he had it before Saturday night's main event, and they ran that angle in the ring to cover for it. There is a part of that that does make a little bit of sense, because you guys who were here for the All In and Saturday night's main event review on Saturday and Evolution last night, we talked about it on both nights. I said when you watch the whole thing happen, the first thing he did was do a springboard off the top rope. That first springboard, it looked like he messed his knee up, and he came down. But then he transitioned right into like a second rope springboard moonsault, right? And he does a backflip, and he lands perfectly flat, didn't roll an ankle, tweak a knee, nothing. He just landed perfectly flat, and he sold it. You know, sometimes you do that in wrestling. Sometimes you sell and you fake a knee injury, you know, in a match, or not fake a knee injury, but you sell a knee injury, and when you watch the replay, they came back perfectly fine, but they come up, you know, not that something can't happen to your knee if you land perfectly fine, but the way I've been watching, right, we all have. We've been watching wrestling long enough to sniff some of this stuff out. And the way Seth Rollins sold the leg on the backflip, that part screamed work. The initial jump looked real, but then the second backflip looked like it was a work, but then the way the match finished looked like a shoot. So it was like shoot, work, shoot. The initial jump off the top rope, he looked like his leg buckled a little bit. The second moonsault looked perfectly fine, but he sold it anyway. Then he went down to the mat, referees were talking to him, and he gets up, eats a BFT. The body language of LA Knight told the story there as well. This is a guy that just beat Seth Rollins, the winner of the WrestleMania main event and current Money in the Bank briefcase holder, and he looks like he couldn't give two shits, because he was probably concerned about his buddy, who might have just tore his leg and fucked up all sorts of storyline plans on Raw. And tonight on Raw, during one of those Netflix commercial breaks, they interviewed LA Knight, and he gave his well wishes to Rollins, wished him the best. You know, so there's too much of this that feels like it's a legit injury. And I think WWE would just be silly for them to go out of their way to like work the websites, especially the credible ones that do the work. Like, they're just assholes. You know, when it comes down to it, at the end of the day.
Very good SummerSlam card with 2.5 weeks to go, man. Very, very pleased with what's going on right now, given the time coming off of this past weekend and then going into SummerSlam weekend in New Jersey. The big story tonight is Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is back tonight. I kind of had a feeling that Roman Reigns was going to be back either on Friday, on Saturday, or on Monday. One or the other. Less likely on Friday. But Saturday night's main event, I thought maybe he gets involved if Seth Rollins beats LA Knight or loses to LA Knight, and then he attempts a cash-in during the Goldberg and Gunther match, which we did not get at all because Rollins got hurt. We don't know the severity of his injury. We did get a little brief statement from Paul Heyman tonight, which I will definitely go over. Monday night was the only night left for him to return. And the way that they set up the main event tonight, and as the main event went on, you certainly got a feeling that this is going to be the landing spot for Roman Reigns to come back, and that's exactly what they did. Braun Breaker entered number 1 in a gauntlet match against Penta and Jey Uso and CM Punk and LA Knight. And Braun Breaker made it all the way till the end. And Rollins and his boys, minus Seth Rollins obviously because he's injured, really tried to make the road easier for Braun Breaker tonight. And when it ended up being Braun Breaker and CM Punk as the final two in this gauntlet match to determine the number 1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship, you just got a sense that Roman Reigns is going to be back. Or Roman Reigns was going to emerge and save the day and send the crowd home in Birmingham, Alabama happy. Now, WWE, I don't know if you guys were paying attention. I thought these matches were standard wrestling matches, just one after the other, and wrestler A has to go through the gauntlet of opponents that WWE throws at them. But they would operate under standard match rules. All of a sudden, Bronson Reed shows up tonight, and he gets involved and helps Braun Breaker beat Jey Uso with blatant interference. And the referee, dead set, on Bronson Reed. No disqualification. I don't know if WWE changed the rules for this to happen tonight, or if they forgot the rules of what a gauntlet match should be under this guise of a WWE gauntlet match.
Exactly.
No disqualifications. I don't know. It's like WWE loves to rewrite their own rule book, man. So as soon as Bronson Reed got out there and we started to get no disqualification, I'm like, all right, man, you're just making it really, really obvious about what's going on here. On top of that, Paul Heyman did himself no favors by using a bunch of puns to describe Roman Reigns' old gimmick and character. He used, this is Braun Breaker's yard now, and Braun Breaker is the next big thing, and Braun Breaker is the big dog. Thank God we don't have to go back to the days of the big dog. That was awful. As soon as I seen no DQ, I knew it was going to end up being Roman Reigns saving the day, and that's what we got. Roman Reigns comes back and saves Jey Uso and CM Punk from a beatdown from Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Superman punch to Braun Breaker, spear to Bronson Reed. Him and Jey Uso once again back on the same page, fighting the good fight, fighting for the same cause. There is still obvious tension there between Reigns and CM Punk because of what happened going into WrestleMania. Reigns is not going to forget about Paul Heyman and the fact that CM Punk took his wise man going into WrestleMania. But the wise man was the smart one. Paul Heyman played both of them. So realistically, they should somewhat be on the same page. Roman Reigns saves the day. He's back. And as you see the landscape of SummerSlam, it looks like we're getting Roman Reigns and Jey Uso teaming up against Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. I'm all for that, man. I have no problems with that. I know a lot of people were predicting, including me, maybe it'll be Reigns and Rollins, but Rollins got hurt now, so we have to deviate and rewrite the SummerSlam plans. That would have been a great SummerSlam match. I don't know if Rollins is still in the picture and he didn't get hurt, what the plans would be. You know, I don't know if that would be the match. I don't know if it would be Reigns and Breaker. I don't know if it would be Rollins and Punk. I don't know what they would do. I don't know how the plans change going into SummerSlam. But it looks like Triple H has somewhat managed to right the ship here. We're not in murky waters as we thought we were. We're not really in calm waters, but it's not as treacherous as it was coming out of Saturday night's main event. Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, that's the match. That's the match. That's what the match should be. I don't want to see a one-on-one match with Reigns and Braun Breaker. You could always save that for down the line. If you do that one-on-one match, that doesn't really leave much for Jey Uso and Bronson Reed to do, and I would rather them be in a tag team match than get two individual singles matches out of it. Because if Reigns and Breaker is a one-on-one match, that only leaves Jey Uso and Bronson Reed in a one-on-one match. I don't really consider that a one-on-one match worthy of SummerSlam. The tag team match is certainly a tag team match worthy of SummerSlam. So he is back, and that is the plan as far as I see it, and I have no problem with that. CM Punk and Gunther is the World Heavyweight Championship match, more than likely going to main event night 1 of SummerSlam. Now, we don't really know if Seth Rollins is legitimately hurt. Everybody says he's legitimately hurt, but WWE has their ways of keeping things very close to the vest and very secretive. I don't want...
I'm Ju. I'm the co-founder
damn
and
it.
CEO of Hero Cosmetics, and I founded the viral Mighty Pack.
Hold on.
I was living in Korea.
Seth Rollins thing is going to be a complete ruse. Now that I see CM Punk in the main event against Gunther, we realistically could be looking at Seth Rollins taking himself off TV and out of the title picture, only to then come back and fuck everybody over. Now, I don't know why they would opt to do that if that is the case. I mean, it's like I said, it's a small sliver of a chance. I don't know why they would opt to do that and take him off TV in the midst of this huge push for his boys. But honestly, the way that I see it, the group really wasn't doing much of anything anyway. Yes, he's Mr. Money in the Bank. Yeah, he's got Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman. All those guys are great. The makeup of the group is great, but they weren't really lighting the world on fire.
Yeah,
They
they
are
won.
more talked about now. Rollins is more talked about now that he's hurt and off television, and everybody's questioning what's going on with Seth Rollins. They are more talked about now than they were for the last 5 months. So who's to say, this is my opinion and my opinion only, who's to say that it isn't a fucking work? There's a chance, but unlikely. Now, if he is injured, he's off TV, we don't know how long. They didn't really give a diagnosis on it. Paul Heyman says, I don't really have all of that information. We didn't get anything. You would think coming out of Saturday, going into Sunday, and then all day today, we'd get some medical diagnosis on Seth Rollins over the last 48 hours. We got nothing. Now, again, they may be keeping it secretive because it's not that serious. And they don't really know what the injury is going to do and how long the injury is going to keep him out. Maybe they're keeping their options open. But the fact that they didn't really give a medical diagnosis tonight, also, you know, another coin into the fucking conspiracy fountain. It's a possibility. Seth Rollins, I don't know how he's going to factor into a world championship scenario with the Money in the Bank briefcase if he's going to be out an extended period of time, 4, 5, 6, up to 9 months. We don't know. We don't know what type of injury the knee is. We don't know how long he's going to be out. If WWE opted to put the title on CM Punk, I mean, it would fit right into the story of Punk being the champion and then Rollins taking it away from Punk when he comes back. And then the shock cash in when he comes back. I love Gunther to death, believe me. I think Gunther's fantastic. But I think WWE needs to make a splash. And WWE really needs to fucking light the headlines up. If I'm WWE, if I'm Triple H, come SummerSlam, I'm putting the title on CM Punk on Saturday, August 2nd. And CM Punk is walking out of New Jersey as the new World Heavyweight Champion. That's what I'm doing. I don't know how you guys feel about that. I know Gunther has had a very short reign now since winning it.
Well, I don't see that. I think if that's the case, then Seth Rollins and Cassidy is gonna fail. You don't think that Roman Reigns is gonna screw Seth Rollins and they're gonna run back Reigns and Rollins? That's what I think gonna happen. I've been saying it for months, ever since he won it, even before he won it. Seth Rollins is not casting on Gunther. You're not pinning Gunther. And I don't think he's a pin Punk again. I think Roman Reigns is gonna screw Seth Rollins, screw him the briefcase. We could see Seth cast in at SummerSlam, make it a triple threat match. Then we get Roman Reigns coming out. He screws over Rollins. But also he screws over Punk because they're going to get the victory. He'll probably pin Rollins. I think they're going to do what they did last year. It just makes sense.
From Jey Uso. But I don't think Gunther needs the World Heavyweight Championship.
No, I think he does.
I think right now, if you're looking at the landscape of Monday Night Raw and the landscape of WWE going into the rest of August and then into the fall, I honestly feel like CM Punk being the World Heavyweight Champion is the right choice for business. Honestly. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited about these two matches that they have coming out of this gauntlet match. We have Punk and Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. Like I said, more than likely main eventing night one of SummerSlam. And then Roman Reigns back, teaming with his cousin Jey Uso against Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Two big-time matches here on SummerSlam weekend. So that is the big story coming out of Monday Night Raw. The other big story coming out of this show tonight is the incredible Evolution show, which a lot of people are saying was the show of the weekend. I'm not. If you're looking for news and commentary,
God damn with these damn commercials, man. Jeez.
Timcast News. She ain't even feuding with. She's gonna retain. She's gonna retain, and that's good. And then maybe after.
Pretty stiff-looking spinning back fist. Perez, though, used the distraction to schoolboy Asuka.
to turn into the, like, I love the fans type of baby face. I like that she has kept the exact. You want Breaker somehow trying to.
Oh no. Santi, then do another Evolution next year?
At 1,000,000%.
Over at SummerSlam for the women's love and respect. So,
but Trish is now the crowd favorite in this one. And then the very next day, you can have her feud against another heel, and it's nothing needs to change. They don't need to do too much of a pivoting here. It'll be interesting who the crowd is going to be behind here, Tiffy or Jade, because I think it's going to be Tiffy.
Really? I thought it was going to be Jade.
I don't know.
I think my assessment might be wrong on that. I don't know who's more popular, Tiffany or Jade.
I think Tiffy. I think Tiffy's more popular. But
oh, shit. I read that completely wrong because I really thought it was Jade. But I felt like they were kind of neck and neck when it came to that. So we'll see. Thank you, Dave. We got CJ here who says, have you started liking the Cena reign since I took a break? Or do you disagree that there are no good reigns at the moment? I'm curious. I'm not a fan of the Cena stuff right now. I mean, it's gotten better. I'm not going to lie to you, but I'm still not a huge fan of it. What about, Santi, I know you're a big John Cena fan.
Well, it's gotten way better. Way, way better. Like, it's improved significantly. It gets better every single time that we get Cena out there. So I get excited about the notion of Cena coming back this Friday. I just hope that they do the build differently with Cody Rhodes, completely different than what they did on the road to WrestleMania 41.
And literally anything would be different at this point, because last time it was mainly just John Cena versus the crowd. Leaving poor Cody out there when he would do his solo freaking promos that he didn't even know what else new to say. So yeah, I do hope they do it different. We got Kevin Nash here who said, people just need to stop booking The Rock for the main event. Guaranteed disappointment. I'm not even thinking about The Rock. He's not even in my mind right now. Do you think that the fans are going to start the conversation of wanting to see The Rock at SummerSlam involved in this? Or is just people just forgetting about The Rock? Because I kind of forgot about him in this story.
I mean, I would prefer to be The Rock over Travis Scott, right? If I have the choice over either of those two, I would much prefer to be The Rock. If there is going to be interference, I'll say this, I hope it's The Rock. I hope it's The Rock. I hope it's The Rock. Or maybe a heel Randy Orton turn during that match would be kind of crazy, turning on Cody Rhodes. Here's the thing, this match needs the fluff, it needs the craziness, it needs the shenanigans. That's the formula that's worked for John Cena over the last couple of matches, and they shouldn't deviate from that.
Who knows, maybe it'll be Jelly Roll. He's going to be running on such an adrenaline from his tag team match. He's going to go out there and bust the other freaking eardrum of Cody Rhodes.
God. Yeah, just put everyone against Jelly Roll at this point.
We got it from his Raider Loco here who says, love Santi's point of view. Santi's point of view, he is right. I agree. I was thinking how WrestleMania match went down. It has gotten better, so I agree. Have two big nights, Punk, Cody, win. Thank you, Frank. We got Terrence Matthews here who says, my dream scenario is Stephanie wins the title at WrestleMania. I'm worried that they pulled the trigger too early. Oh, the trigger too early on Stephanie. Interesting. Okay. I can see that only because she just really got there, but she's going to be put up to the test. She really is. And I think so far she's gotten so far with just being herself. She hasn't needed to do anything more. She just goes out there and people just like what she offers.
Listen, never complain about the trigger getting pulled early, because
we have access to a leaderboard.
Terrence. We got Paul here who says, if you saw Evolution, the referee lifted Tiffany's hand and ripped the title belt out of the ref's hand. Those are heel vibes. Yeah, man, she's a heel. That's how she feels, man.
The Elimination Chamber, one or the other. She goes on to challenge Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania and beat her for the championship. That's what you do.
And he might have still been Walter at that point. But it was against Braun Breaker, and he lost. Braun Breaker was one of the few people, is one of the few people, to have pinned Gunther and beaten Gunther. And it's still a pretty short list. I mean, you've got Cody Rhodes is on that list, Jey Uso is on that list, Sami Zayn is on that list. main roster-wise, I mean, who else? Am I missing anybody? Right? I mean, I think that's about it. So, there is history there between them, but they don't like to acknowledge.
Do you want to learn how to play GTA 5 on your cell phone? Click the button below and check out our detailed article.
If they're actually going to. But I need to see long-term attempts, not just, hey, we need a couple tag teams for Evolution.
Yes, and I mean, I'm just liking them back on the show. I really am. And then also, by the way, they're still trying to get Dominic Mysterio cleared, and he's still trying to use his doctor's note.
He was only able to jump up there to help Judgment Day because of the adrenaline running in his soul.
Yeah, that was kind of funny. I liked that little mention there. AJ Styles praying, Dominic praying, everybody was praying for things that they wanted. I thought that was great. So I think what did they say? Next week they're going to do a reevaluation of Dominic.
Yeah.
So they're probably going to add this match to SummerSlam.
Yeah, this will be a SummerSlam match. Oh yeah, I'd imagine, yeah.
Cool. Nikki Bella versus Chelsea Green. Nikki Bella defeats Chelsea Green in this match. Wait, why'd you say,
that was a rough match. It was a rough match.
I liked it. Maybe because I like both of them, so I saw this with stars in my eyes.
Is that. All right, get those.
You gotta think that Jimmy can't be far behind. He's not doing shit over on SmackDown. He's still mixed in with that bloodline crap over there. He was unsuccessful in his attempt to win the U.S. title on Saturday. So move him over to Raw. Move him to Raw. I feel like we will see him soon on Monday Night Raw. We cut backstage after the Naomi promo to Judgment Day. Finn Balor is polishing up all the belts. He's got them all. He's very happy. Dominic comes in and takes his Intercontinental title, and he says that he can't sleep and relax because AJ Styles is stalking him. So Finn tells Dominic.
In the first half, until Bayley caught Lyra coming off the ropes. She was coming off the ropes with a diving leg drop, and she got caught into a belly-to-Bayley suplex. And Bayley covered her. It was a very close near fall. That woke him up.
The liner, the music. I know it's a Def Rebel gem, which I know a lot of people aren't really high on Def Rebel. Nobody is. They are awful. The music goes along with the presentation. The music goes along with the gimmick. She's killing it, man. She is just absolutely killing it. So happy for her. Everything is just working with this heel run, man. Probably the best run so far that she has had in WWE ever for herself. Crowd started to chant, "You deserve it. You deserve it." Naomi cut them off and said she didn't want to hear the crowd now.
Alright, might as well end the video. I think I made this long enough. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. Hit that like button. Oh, actually, wait, hold on. There's one more podcast that we got, Just Alice. Now, before I end this video, might as well show him. The OTC is back.
Reminder, it's your boy's birthday this week, July 17th, this Thursday. I'm going to celebrate. Like a man celebrates. It's going to be fun. I'm going to get me some ladies. We're going to go to the club. We're going to be bumping. And it's going to be fun. You get her? It's going to be fun. We're going to have a lot of fun. I'm excited about it. But before we get to that, let's go ahead and pay these bills. Get to the preliminary. Say hello to the...
I'm going to end the video. Till next time, hit that like button. Leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. I'll be back with more. I will do, well, actually, I probably should talk about AEW. Then, or is it too late? Because, well, I think I already talked about AEW. I think I talked about it last night. I didn't. I think I talked about it last night. AEW All In with Heyman Page finally beating Jon Moxley and ending his title reign. So, yeah. Until next time, I'll see y'all later. Hit that like button, leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. I will do a SmackDown live stream this Friday. I will do AEW Dynamite. So I'll go into more details on AEW All In. I probably should do one tonight, really. But I think I already talked about it. Anyway, I might as well just end the video. I will see y'all later. Hold on, I have to make sure this is gonna be uploaded.